Hey guys. Um, well, welcome back to the big board, I guess. Let's see. I wanted to talk a little bit about last Blitzkrieg and some, evolutions that I've gone through here with my understanding of the game and all that sort of good fun stuff. But before I did that, I wanted to touch base on some of the new approved optional rules that have floated out into the marketplace on Console World. Yes, I actually managed to spend some time over there without getting pissed off with either the interface or the people's attitudes over there. But the folks on the BCS, excuse me for the squeaky chair, the BCS forums can be pretty nice. But these official variants came out, and while I think some of them make a lot of sense, the adjusting ranged fires would be a sensible modification. And there's a really neat little modified chit draw, which if you're interested in the more randomized play, the chit draw mechanism is truly random, whereas the new version here is pulling 3 chits, and whoever has the most chits pulled gets to choose which of the 3 chits is played next. I like that idea. Now that's not going to give you probably give you as a historical game flow, or give you the kind of historical results that you probably would expect. I'm guessing. I don't know that, even from what I know, I should say, I don't know that the random chit draw was even tested to see if it would play out historically or not. So that would be the caveat there. And then there's a couple of interesting concepts that talk about planned fatigue, when attrition occurs, some modifications to coordination, and some other things. And they all read fairly well in summary, but in practice, there's probably not enough meat in the descriptions of the modifications to truly understand exactly what is meant by them. And I think at the end of the day, I'm a little concerned that a brand new system that's been tested for, I don't know, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 12 years, 20 years, I don't know how long it's been tested for, and how many rewrites it's gone through, and all the rest of it, that 2 weeks after it's out, or 3 weeks after it's out, there's a bunch of new official variants and optional rules before any of us who are new to the game and new to the system have even had a chance to play the current system. I will say that this new chart, while that does look very busy, is much easier to read and much clearer. And whoever did this chart needs to be paid by MMP to do their charts in the future, because this cleared up this dog's breakfast of a set of charts. This would have to be, from a usability standpoint, from last Blitzkrieg, this is the single worst set of charts I've ever seen, or I've ever used, I think, in a war game. It just really frustratingly bad. So I won't be using that anymore. I'm going to be using this. It's very clean, clear, concise. It's well structured. It's color coded nicely. It's well organized. And as long as you are comfortable with the terminology, with engagements and combats, snafu, unit capabilities, same on this side. There's a lovely layout for the weather tables and all that sort of good stuff. Nice terrain chart was fit in here as well. So everything on 2 pieces of paper, pretty fantastic. That guy, whoever did that, needs to get a bonus check. All right, gameplay. Let's talk about, so that's enough about the optional rules. I'm probably going to use some of these, despite my misgivings with the changes, just particularly ranged fires. And I'm going to look at the fatigue roll situation. The fatigue roll situation it's more, so rather than rolling to see if you're fatigued, basically you're buying your fatigue. You're saying, okay, I'm going to go do A, B, and C. That will generate fatigue result why. So it's a known cost exercise as opposed to pushing your luck and trying to get lucky and stretch yourself and then rolling a 1 or a 6 or whatever it is you need to roll to not get fatigue. Makes a lot more sense. Takes luck out of the equation, and I can see how serious, thoughtful planning players would probably appreciate that a lot more than the more random aspects that are generated with this particular model, the way things are today. All right, so I am still only in the middle of turn 2 here. We have done this many activations, and I was turning them sideways where we got double activations, but yeah, so I think 14th Cav had 2. Everyone else pretty much failed their second activation rolls. Now KG Piper had 2. So as you can see in the middle here, we still have some formations to go that haven't activated yet. And I've got the reinforcements over here, the 1st Infantry, and I think the 9th, is that the 9th? Yeah, the 9th Infantry over here that need to run. But because of the way the game has been played to date, I have I've got some complications, and I've made life complicated for myself here with the 277th Volksgrenadier, the 12th SS, the 150th Panzer Brigade, the 12th Volksgrenadier, and Piper. We're all jammed in here, and we're all stepping on each other's toes. Now, why did I choose to do things that way? Well, the first opportunity really arose when I saw a means to push Piper forward all the way through to Malmedy, or Malmedy, depending on how you'd like to pronounce it, and capture that hex. That's a VP location, and as far as winning the game, that's one of the hexes that will matter. And I thought with the good luck and good fortune, I would be able to activate 12th SS before the 7th Armored or the other reinforcements arrived, and we were fortunate enough to have that occur. So that's one of the reasons why I chose to press so many units in here. Now, initially, I thought I would reinforce with the 277th or the 12th, but I couldn't really get them very far. This is one of the furthest locations I could get the 12th up to. It's over here. I know there's some glare on the screen, on the board, so you'll have to put up either a shadow or glare. It's one of the two. So we've got this very thin line here, and it's problematic for the Germans. I'm not sure what's going to happen once 1st Infantry comes onto the board. The Americans, I rolled a die to see which units would activate first for the Americans, because they were in serious trouble with 2nd Infantry, 106th Infantry, and 99th, and arguably they were equally as valuable a decision. Do I move the 2nd Infantry or bring one of these reinforcing divisions on? Which was more important? I couldn't really decide, and I felt like I'd be favoring the German movement if I chose one or the other, so I rolled a die for it. And in fact, I also did the same thing for the Germans to a certain extent. I rolled to see whether I should activate 12th SS or the Volksgrenadier first. Some of these units have actually been bumped by the cat, but they're now mostly back in place. So I've got this dog's breakfast here where we're going to have some coordination issues, and I've had to move the 12th SS combat train. And the other problem I've had is when I first moved, it took me a couple of times as you're playing, you're trying to learn what you're doing or what you need to be doing. I had to make some choices about where that HQ was going to be. And as I started looking at it, I had the HQ back here a little ways. He could get up to here fair enough, but I put him here. I realized I'd put him too far back because I misread the rules about command ranges. So I had to move him after I'd finished my activation. So it certainly is a learning game, and we're certainly trying to get things down. one of the challenges I'm having with the game is that there's new terminology and new mechanics, and those two things meshed together in even on just one map is forcing a lot of consternation and constant rule lookup. And I'm a little frustrated with the game at the moment, but I'm gonna hang in there because I can see a lot of the value of the system. I do have a couple of niggles with this concept of strength points and steps, not imposing any degradation upon the fighting capability of the unit. Saying something is, whether it's similar in concept to, say, the Great Battles of History, cohesion hits, or Command and Colors Ancients, whether you had 4 blocks or 1 block, it had the same combat value. But this is a little different because we're dealing with battalions of infantry, and are we saying that a full strength unit, which is 5 steps here, is just as effective as a 1-step unit, knowing that that's a combination of morale, cohesion, and losses. I don't know that necessarily works for me, and I don't know how you would adjust that. So I'm suspending disbelief at the moment. Now there are different levels of activation. Looks like we're getting laggy here, so I might stop this video actually, and I might stop this video here. There are different values of numbers of steps which indicate not just size but also obviously also fighting power and punch and resilience. So who knows, maybe I just don't appreciate it yet, and I said it's all no judgments as of yet, just observations so far, and we'll continue to play, and I will talk to all you guys soon.